Alright, what happens now? We've got a lot of information. That much is good and known. And that's all Uncle Ray knows about the IS-7 incident. So that's what happened in my father's last case. The truth of the IS-7 incident. What happened at the trial? Funny story. In the end, Von Karma defeated us. So you couldn't prove Mr. Master's innocence? What's she gonna do? We've gathered plenty of evidence to prove it. But Von Karma was even more despicable than we thought. He was a prosecutor who would do anything for his guilty verdict. You know, it says a lot about just how ingrained the indoctrination Edgeworth had with Von Karma, that he knows he's a complete and total scumlord in every shape, way, and form, has every reason under the sun to detest his guts, to hear to absolute everywhere, like, my God. But there's a part of him that still can't openly slander his name. I can't actually get on Edgeworth's case about that. We know how he truly feels, but man, that's just kind of how that sort of thing works. He was a bad dude. That's right, and he really did use any means necessary. Because of this, the trial dragged on for about a year until it finally reached a conclusion. Sheesh. I'll never forget that fateful day when the judgment was passed down, the 28th of December. It's April now, so it's been a little over 17 years. How time flies. The 28th of December, 17 years ago. I was watching from the gallery that day. That is in fact true, yes. Oh dear. Before the trial, your old man noticed that Mr. Master was acting strangely. He was at the breaking point, both mentally and physically. He wanted to be found guilty. Oh, poor dude. No, Mr. Master didn't fake a confession, did he? Yeah, that was what Von Karma was aiming for from the start. Oh, that's horrible. When your old man tried to expose that fact to the body, the fact that the body had not been found, Von Karma used the power of his police cronies to quash that argument. He even went as far as to prepare a fake autopsy report. Ugh. Then, they made Mr. Master give a false testimony and confess to being an accomplice. With Mr. Master's confession, the situation quickly became dire. But your old man had a trump card up his sleeve. We've heard of it. Was that the trump card he was talking to Detective Bad about? Yeah. That trump card was to be our insurance in case Mr. Master confessed. He had asked Detective Bad to have Mr. Master's interrogation recorded. Detective Bad wanted to know the truth too, huh? After he was dropped from the investigation, he had never stopped caring about the case. Even when he was involved with other large cases, he really was the definition of a true detective. A good guy. I hope he's all right. The defense presented the recording, which proved the confession was forced. Well, it seems the detective in charge of the initial investigation and interrogation, Rip Lacer, took all the blame and was charged and dismissed. Still, at the trial, your old man exposed Von Karma's corruption, and Von Karma received his first penalty from the then chief prosecutor. The only penalty in his 40 years of prosecution. We all know how that ended up. However, Mr. Master didn't want the trial to continue any longer. And the curtains closed on the trial that day with the verdict of guilty. Oh, this dude's been in prison for 17 years for something he never even did. My memory of that time is fuzzy, but I was also there, watching my father's final trial. And I think his final regret became my own. Your old man wanted a retrial to prove Master's innocence, but he passed on before he could fulfill his wish. I really don't know if you can call being murdered passing on, frankly. After getting entangled in another case. It breaks my heart even now that I didn't return home with him that day. Ray, you couldn't have done anything. Hell, there's a very real possibility he would have just killed you too. It was tragic before I knew anything about Gregory. Now that I know so much about him and how good of a person he was, I'm just pissed. And what's more, To blind myself from my own worthlessness. Uncle Ray put all of his hatred on you, as a traitor for being Von Karma's pupil. I can't say I 100% can't understand where Ray came from. You know what? That's an understandable reason. Yeah, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. Oh. Oh, that's heartbreaking. I'm sorry. Don't be. It's natural you would hate me. After I became a prosecutor, I was able to get Von Karma to show me the case file. Mr. Master was found guilty for the murder of Isaac Dover. That's not right. Wasn't Mr. Master found guilty of being an accomplice? But this case file says guilty of murder. There shouldn't be anything unresolved in the cases handled by Manfred Von Karma. Did he tamper with it too? Wait, can I take a look at that file? Looks like the charges had been rewritten. What? Look at this! Jeffrey Master, 39, creator of the dessert contest. The victim's body was found inside a dessert made by the suspect. This led to his arrest. In jail, he was diagnosed with hypoglycemia, and he was treated by medicine. After his own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. The charge is accomplice to murder? This is a copy of the original case file I received from the courts. Why would the charge be altered? This file was given to you by Von Karma, right? Maybe he just didn't want you to know the truth, since you're Gregory's son. It's all too likely that if you learned that the final case of your actual birth father ended up being unresolved or had so much murky circumstances behind it, especially considering the skill level and competence you had, that you would probably want to dig into it and you'd discover everything, and his whole master plan of being a grade A scuzz lord would fall apart. Makes sense he'd change it. You would have wanted to avoid another retrial before the statute of limitations ran out, after all. So what I had come to believe back then had all been a lie. And if you didn't know about it, just make sure you know from it now on. The statute of limitations has long expired, but the truth still sleeps right here. After your old man passed away, Uncle Ray took over as Mr. Master's defense attorney. Although Von Karma also had another prosecutor take over the case. Perhaps he thought that since his opponent was a rookie, he didn't even need to turn up. In the end, the real killer was never found, and Mr. Master was found guilty. No! Is there nothing we can do even now? Since the killer was never found, he can't withdraw his confession. And I found out after the trial that Mr. Master made a deal with Von Karma because Von Karma had threatened him. If you don't confess, Catherine Hall will be held under the same charges. That's terrible! I don't think Mr. Master really thought that Kate was the killer, but to protect her, he faked a confession. Ah, God. Miles, on the day that Knightley Boy was killed, why do you think Uncle Ray was at the prison? I see! You went to see Mr. Master, didn't you? I said I'd visit him every day. I couldn't keep that promise, but I asked Katie Pie to look in on him for me when I couldn't. Through rain or snow, she went, every single day without fail. But nothing has changed. Mr. Master still serves his punishment. That sucks. It's so sad. Isn't there anything we can do? That's why I came here. Because I knew those ice sculptures would be on display here today. So, what are you gonna do, Miles? I'm a prosecutor. My position is different from you and my father, Miles. But, moving past my position, what I want as Miles Edgeworth is to know the truth of these two cases. It is for that reason that I am here. You really are your father's son. Well then, if that's what you've decided, I'll support you all the way. Then I'd better leave the IS-7 documents and evidence with you then. All right, here are the documents. By the way, the parts in orange are Uncle Ray's old notes. Ooh, Nifty. Thank you kindly. Thank you. And now, here's the IS-7 incident. There's a lot, so make sure to look it over while you investigate. Oh boy, received a lot of IS-7 evidence from Mr. Shields. Woo! They didn't even name it one at a time. Right, I'll check through it later. Heck no to that mess, we're doing it now. Whoa, we're doing it now. All right, just to make absolutely certain, let's just quickly look over this. All right, statute of limitations ran out on December 24th, 3 years ago. Not really anything we can do about that. His own confession, he was convicted as an accomplice. All right, his true identity is the famous French sculptor, entered a contest as cake designer, body was found, trauma to the head. Because the victim's body vanished, there appears to be no autopsy report. Is that the true reason? And the picture itself. All right, that's good to have. I've also got the Angel's recipe book. I've got the frame finger marks, the rock salt lamp. Ooh, I can check the rock salt lamp. All right, okay. I could get like an ink blot test with the blood, but I don't think that's going to help anybody in any way. And this family photo. Interesting. Okay. Noted, noted, and appreciated. Anyway, there's so many strange things about this case. Indeed. Those involved in the case 18 years ago have reunited, but another incident occurs. Yeah, can we get a little more info on that? Who was that? Replicas of the statues from 18 years ago were displayed in the Winter Palace, and poison gas was released in the Autumn Palace, which had been disguised as the Winter Palace. What the heck is up with all that? The two chemicals in the Pisces case, mammalium and phthallium, were mixed, causing an outbreak of poison gas. And then there was freaking Larry! The victim of the poison gas was Dane Gustavia, a person involved in the IS-7 incident. Because he was unconscious, he received treatment in the Zodiac Art Gallery's infirmary. And then there's this. Finally, the dead body we found floating in the fountain. I don't even know who that was. And once again, the ice sculptures have melted. There are deep connections between the two cases. It's possible there are still some clues left from 18 years ago. Right, let's get started. Why, though? Just 1 second. Don't tell me you've forgotten about me. Only every other time you leave the screen, dude. Didn't I tell you that I'm the one in charge of this case? Oh, dear God, why? Prosecutor Edgeworth, if you intend to continue disrupting Sebastian's investigation, I'm gonna do a bunch of bad stuff because that's all I care about. Blah, 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 blah. I read what she said. What does she mean, guilty? Please allow me to assist in your investigation as before. No. I appreciate your proposal, but I hate you for reasons unknown, and I'm going to say no. That was fast. Even though we're short on hands to identify the victim right now, and I have every reason under the sun to accept your help, considering how extraordinarily competent and good at your job you are, no. It's only a matter of time until we figure it out. Yeah, like you did the last case. In that case, I shall take that load off your shoulders at once. Regarding the identity of the unidentified body, one person comes to mind. Okay, yeah, I thought the same. I'm pretty sure I know where this is going, but the body has been missing for 18 years, and it didn't look very decayed for something that's been dead for almost 2 decades. That's a little confusing to me. Really? Then tell us. Very well. It's not just the sculptures that have made a comeback from the incident 18 years ago. The body in the fountain is. I am deeply confused by this, but all right, here we go. I mean, it has to be him. It's likely the identity of the body is the victim of the murder that occurred here 18 years ago. Isaac Dover. Did they put it in cold storage? Eh? It's Icy's body? Hey, who's that? I've never heard of him. Mr. Isaac Dover, a truly great sculptor, but he was better known as Pierre Huquet. The sculptures on display here in the museum are all his creations. Oh, so in other words, that sculptor was the best. Somehow I feel a strong kinship to him. And he was the victim in the IS-7 incident. She knew about the IS-7 incident? Prosecutor Edgeworth, the IS-7 incident occurred 18 years ago. And what's more, the police reported the removal of the body. Oh, lordy Lou, we're really gonna be going through this whole mess. All right, here we go. That's what's on the record, but I wonder if that really is the truth. What are you saying? You know I don't care about the truth. The defense attorney in the IS-7 incident claimed that the body was never found. Not that the prosecution would ever admit to such a thing. Who be calling? Whomstiv? Hello? Really? Is something wrong, Sebastian? Oh, is something wrong, Sebastian? Sorry. No, it's just they said that they know who the victim is. Shabing shaboom? It's just as that prosecutor says. It's Dover. No, it can't be. How could I be wrong for a 47th consecutive time? It would seem my father's suspicions were correct. What is it, Judge Courtney? Have you finally realized that I'm much more helpful than Mr. DeBest? Dear God, you should have realized that after 2.5 seconds. Hey, you tried to steal DeBest's position for yourself. Is it really stealing if you literally were never in possession of it to begin with? Pretty sure Edgeworth has always been the best prosecutor in this universe ever. I'm doing no such thing. I already had it. I just want to know the truth. And for that to happen, we need to cooperate now. The truth is none of your concern.
Objection.
Yeah, well, what if it is, huh? I don't think that's true, Courtney Pie. You again? Uncle Ray assisted the defense attorney involved in the IS-7 incident. The one who claimed that Mr. Dover's body was never found. Yeah, but you didn't see that one coming, did you? The prosecution denied it at the time, but now the body has been discovered here. Huh, ain't that a coinky-dinky? In other words, the IS-7 investigation was unjust. And isn't it the duty of the PIC to investigate corrupt prosecutors? Then, wouldn't you want to cooperate with those who were involved in the case? Man, I went from being very indifferent to Ray to thinking he's pretty awesome. Unless you have an ulterior motive. Do you? Now that I think about it, Judge Courtney knew about the IS-7 incident. So it seems she really is here because of the PIC. Even if you're related to the incident, I don't see how Prosecutor Edgeworth is. He's the son of the attorney in that case, and a prosecutor taught by Von Karma himself. He is connected to both lawyers! Come on! And what's more, he was in the audience at the IS-7 incident trial. I'm sure there are many points he can enlighten us on. Can't argue with all that, can you? Very well, I'll allow you to cooperate. However, your investigation must not hinder the other investigators. The Winter Palace is currently being investigated, but the Fountain Patio is open to you. Oh joy, I'm sure I'll find so much. I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but I'm sure that I'll find more than enough to make this case my own, no problem. That's my Courtney Pie. Now we're talking. As thanks, I will allow you to have a hug with Uncle Ray. And I will beat you senseless. Overruled. If I feel your cooperation isn't needed, I will have to ask you to leave. Understood. Isn't that great, Miles? Now we can start investigating. You really helped us there. Oh, I just realized, while it might have, more so kind of been a condescension thing, Edgeworth did always have a bow thing, just like his dad. That's really neat. Uncle Ray did it all for himself. So you say, so you say. All right, Uncle Ray's gonna investigate too, so let me know if you figure something out. Got it. Whew, all right. Right then. Okay, let's begin the investigation. I shouldn't legally be allowed to be here. They went through all the trouble to explain why Ray and Edgeworth have justifiable reasons to be able to be in attendance and help with the investigation. There is actually literally nothing allowing Kay to be here. She is still nothing more than a civilian. I made the exact same observation in the last case, but even now it's more egregious. Kay is amazing. I love her. I'm glad she's here. I don't want her to leave. But there's actually no story reason to be able to justify any of this, and that is hilarious to me. We still don't know where Mr. Dover's body and the Normalium were hidden. For 18 years? How do you hide a body for 18 years with absolutely no signs of decay? Even if you shoved it into a freezer, it would have gotten frozen, or freezer burnt, or something. We don't have enough information to go on. You're right. Our first priority is the normalium. Well, normalium is used in washing detergents, paints, and the like. If I recall, it's a red liquid with a minty aroma. Ooh, minty. Alright, I'm sure that's useful. Surely. Well then, let's get looking for that normalium. Alright, let's get looking around. And by looking around, I mean let's talk to Kay about stuff. What do you notice, girl? I wonder if this case and the IS-7 incident are connected somehow. Kay, I feel like we're kind of past that point. It's hard to say for certain right now, but I also don't think they are completely unrelated. But your father was in charge of the IS-7 incident, right? It can't just be a coincidence. It must be destined by fate. Let's solve both of these cases. I'll make sure to steal the truth for you. Sounds promising. Now then, to the task at hand. I really love their dynamic. Let's resume the investigation of the normalium. It's a red liquid with a minty aroma, right? Let's go ask around. Failing that, let's start sniffing. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Well, we got this. I have so many people to talk to. Oh, God. On this service card, Miss Hall has prepared her tea set. According to the pamphlet, the museum is also famous for its tea. Yes, it certainly had a flavorful, rich taste. Seems this tea set was also made by Mr. Dover. Oh, so the tea set was made by the victim? Let's take a closer look. Ooh, okay, sure. Let's take, hey, what's this? Here's a container with, Ceylon tea leaves in it. To prevent exposure to sunlight and moisture, the container is airtight and made of tin. This should help preserve the quality of the tea leaves. Oh, all right, that's fair. All right, well, what about the teapot itself? So, this tea set was made by Isaac Dover. Fancy stuff, huh? Okay, I'd say this tea set is worth thousands of dollars. Please be careful with it. This tea set is such a treasure? Please don't look so excited. If I recall correctly, Miss Hall was a huge fan of Mr. Dover. Oh, alrighty. Thank you kindly. Alright. Oh. Hey, Edgy! Oh, dear God almighty, what is it? Be careful with that teapot! Why must I be warned by him of all people? Oh, and here comes the lady! Madame and Monsieurs. Oh, look at her! Please don't be evil. Would you care, or, I mean, I think at this point we're beyond the point of assuming that she's evil in any regard. Although the jury is still out on a whole revenge thing. My currently running theory is that Kate may have figured out who the actual killer was and tried to seek revenge. I want to be wrong, but, you know, here we go. Even if that guy that she, like, you know, because we kind of, the way that it is, it was either, you know, it was either Delicia or it was Kate. It would make sense for it to be Kate, and I don't know, maybe that Gustavia guy is actually the one who ended up doing it. I don't know, or Dover did something, and then Gustavia did something in retaliation of that. Those are my currently running theories, and then maybe just somehow she found out, and years later finally tried to get revenge for this because of how much it affected her. It'd make a lot of sense, and it would be all very, very well written and exceedingly tragic and depressing, and it would make me very sad, so odds are pretty good that that's what's gonna happen. Ugh. Would you care for some tea? Huh, Miss Hall. Katie. No, I'm fine, thanks. Okay, Neji, you guys can have some. Well, since you asked, we might as well take a short break. Haha, we have been working for more than 2.5 minutes. Certainly. Pouring sound effects! Hey, there you go, they even get neat little old sprites for it. Thanks for the tea. Synchronized slurpitude. They do a big consume. Wow, it's so tasty. What kind of tea is this, Mr. Edgeworth? Ceylon tea, known for its citrus aroma. However, Miss Hall, is this the same tea you served us this morning? Yes, that's right. Was it not to your liking? No, it's not that. The tea we had this morning had a slightly different aroma. Did it now? Okay, that sounds important. How strange. It's the same Ceylon tea I served this morning. There shouldn't be anything different about it. What's wrong with you, Edgy? Quit nitpicking about the tea Katie so kindly prepared for you. Larry, What are you getting so upset about? I'm not upset! You're just being a rude jerk! And I told you to call me Laurice! I'm not gonna talk to you anymore! Jesus Christ, what is up with that weirdo? It's like arguing with a child. Laurice. I wonder what's wrong. I'd like to ask him that later myself. I mean, I don't want to, but it feels like it's probably going to be relevant. And I also need to speak with Miss Hall. I don't have any evidence that shows she is the culprit. But I dare say she is the one who set up the poison gas trap. At the bare minimum, that seems to be the case. Alright, I don't think there's anything else of note around these here parts. Hard to say, just looking around, and, no, I think we're good. That's my currently running theory, at least. Oh, wait, Larry's gone. Okay, also, hello. The heck is this? The smell and this color. Don't tell me this is a puddle of tea. Eh? There's a piece of pottery in the middle of the puddle. Oh, Larry definitely broke something, and that's probably why he was so cagey. All right, yep, that sounds like him. I wonder what broke. I think I recognize the design. I should probably show this to that man and see what he has to say. Oh, how delightful that will end up being. All right, now first things first, what up, Ray? You got anything? Niles, how's the investigation going? Well, little by little, I'm beginning to see the entire truth behind this case. Oh, that's good to hear. Uncle Ray had better not fall behind either. All right, let's talk about it, my dude. This case seems to have a lot in common with the case 18 years ago. It even has the same corpse involved, which is very weird. I agree. The melted ice in the Winter Palace and the body of the victim from 18 years ago? Try and call that unrelated. You can't. I wonder why nobody ever noticed the body was missing after all this time. The only family Mr. Dover had was a young son. His son and Mr. Gustavia's son, who attended the same elementary school. After the case, they both went missing. What? Thank you, Kay. And they haven't been found yet? I haven't heard any news about Mr. Gustavia's son being found. And as for Mr. Dover's son, he was found and his inheritance was delivered to him. And because of that, Mr. Dover never had a proper funeral. So that way, they were able to make it look like the body had been in police custody. The autopsy report had also been forged, so nobody but the defense ever found out. But the defense found out. Oh, come on. You would go that far? I mean, my dude, I feel like you would definitely know that at this point. All right, let's go ahead and talk to her. Please do not have done bad things. Miss Hall, where have you been until now? I was showing the remaining guests out and handing out complimentary gifts as an apology. Did you require my services? Yes. There are a few things I want to ask you about. If my suspicions are correct, she's the one who set up the poison gas trap. And I'd rather not be accurate. How exactly did you prepare the melted sculptures from 18 years ago? My, so you know about what happened 18 years ago? It's because 18 years ago, I photographed Monsieur Dover's sculptures. Using the photos as a base, I managed to create replicas. You made them yourself? Replicas? The Zodiac sculptures had been an unfinished work, so I wanted to complete it somehow. Because I'm the one who accidentally melted Monsieur Dover's sculptures. And could you tell me why the Autumn Palace resembles the Winter Palace so much? Well, my apologies. Did they really look so alike? I think I may have gotten some of the decorations mixed up. She is obviously lying. That's a bit of a bummer. But I haven't gathered any evidence to prove that yet. Let me see. All right, well, I think I'm gonna need more stuff to work with before I'm able to actually get anything more. Larry, are you still around at all? Oh, you actually are. All right, yeah, now let's just get this whole Larry situation dealt with. As much as I just absolutely despise and detest ever having to speak to him, it's inarguable that every single time you ever do, you get important information. Larry, tell me what you're hiding. You two, stop glaring at each other like that. I'm not glaring, Kay. I'm using my artist's perspective. Edgy's the one who's glaring. Then, if you know what's good for you, you'll tell me what you're hiding right now. No way, dude! Didn't I say that I'm not talking to you anymore? You just did! Aren't you talking to me right now? From now on, I'm definitely not talking to you anymore. I'm not gonna get anywhere like this. Looks like I'll have to force it out of him. All right, hang on. Let me just toss this thing at his face. Hang on. You broke some of the teaware. Larry, take a look at this. What's that? Larry, I've got a feeling that what you're hiding is related to the tea in this pottery shard. Well, if you're not going to talk to me, I can always hand this shard over to Judge Courtney. Wait, I'm trying to keep a clean image for Dusty. I don't want her to see how I've dirtied myself. That's gross, dude. Can't imagine what part of you can be considered clean. Woohoo! But if you don't want... Also, I thought you were in a relationship. If you don't want her to declare you guilty, I suggest you speak truthfully now. I got it, I'll tell you. Damn straight you will. Larry, it's time you confess to what you've done. How can you be so cruel to your best friend? You're not even in the top 6, dude. The same way you can be so dishonest to your best friend. Oh, that's a way better counter than what I came up with. Well, you can stop glaring at me. I promise to tell the truth this time for sure. I just thought I'd pour Justy some tea. And my hand kind of slipped a bit and it broke. And I accidentally broke the crazy expensive teapot. The butt strikes again. Why am I not surprised? Oh boy. You've really done it this time, Laurice. What should I do, Edgy? Katie will hate me. Yeah, probably. Crying to me about it won't solve anything. First, you should apologize to Miss Hall. Is that so? My teapot was... Katie, I'm so sorry. I don't have any money, but I'll draw as many portraits of you as you like. Please kindly raise your head, monsieur. It is I who should apologize. I didn't notice the broken shards. It's dangerous, so I'll tidy up the broken pieces. Allow me to take this piece from you as well. Wasn't this tea set one of Ms. Isaac Dover's works? I heard that it was very important to you. Yes, but there's no use crying over spilled tea. Besides, I still have another one of those teapots left. Is she not as attached to Dover's work as she used to be? Katie, you're so kind! Oh, that the teapot you were talking about. Is it the one on that cart? Yes. Truth is, when I was trying to hide the broken shards, I looked under that cart. And I found a teapot that looked exactly the same, so I switched them. Well, wouldn't you know? All right. Really? Yeah, everything's cool now. I took great care to make sure no one would break that pot. You don't brag about that when you were the one who broke it in the first place. I'm sorry. I don't mind. Thank you for your consideration. Gee, Katie's a really nice lady, isn't she? Well, that's what I dare to hope and dream. You should reflect on how you cause trouble for people like her. Okay. When I make it as big as an artist, I'll donate paintings. In fact, I'll even welcome you as my own personal model. I think it'd be better if you just stopped causing trouble. I hope you haven't done anything else. I haven't. I just stood around sketching beauties. Sketching beauties? If you're interested, I can let you take a peek. I mean, I can think of only 3. I mean, that is multiple. I guess even Mr. Edgeworth is interested in beauties. It's not like that. I just thought it might be another one of his strange paintings. How dare you? I'm very confident in my work this time. Oh, I want to see too. Oh, well, I'm glad you're so honest about it, Kay. I'll get it ready, so come check it out later. I guess I'll have him show it to me later. If and I simply must. How about now, though? About that sketch you mentioned just now. What? If you wanted to see my art, you should have been honest about it from the start. Look, here it is. Why did I have to do that? Oh. I'm gonna be 100% Honey Nut Realios with you. I completely forgot about Delicia, and I just kind of assumed it would have been Kay. What is this? I already told you, it's a sketch of beauties. Although, straight up, why is Delicia washing her fiber cloth in the fountain? But just to be clear, the beauties only refer to Justy and Katie. I mean, okay. I didn't say it out loud. That other, oh, okay, well now you're just officially being mean about it. Okay, hang on. Hang on, you didn't have to call her that. Then why did you draw her on the same page? Well, I was taking a break from my still life paintings when those beauties caught my eye. They do be pretty. I guess I just drew them on the same page without thinking. So, you're saying that the pictures on this page were each drawn separately? Oh, yeah, I may have drawn them at different times. By the way, there's a drawing of the beautiful little Miss K on another page. Wow, beautiful, huh? Thanks. Well, okay, well, at least I was right. You did draw her. You drew this exactly as you saw it, correct? Well, yeah. Even I can't draw what I can't see. They recreated the scene perfectly. Even the delicate shades. Not for nothing, dude has improved by leaps and bounds with his art. Delicate shades, huh? I don't want to admit it, but this picture might be of help to the investigation. The contents of this sketch, and the service cart and the fountain patio, it seems that there's a contradiction between the two. I'll need to expose this contradiction using my powers of deduction. Can I borrow this sketch for a while? Sure, I can even sign it for you if you like. I think I'll pass. But I will take the picture, thank you. Thank you kindly. Alrighty, let's see here. I'd like to logic up some logical things if it's all the same with y'all. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so they switched the teapots around, so I feel... At first, I thought I was gonna have to combine these two, but I'm pretty sure I would need to do this. Because that would explain why it tasted different. And then maybe I can get something else and then that'll work together? That'd make sense. Maybe the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different was because the pots had been switched. Really? The taste of the tea itself did not actually change after all. Let's go ask Miss Hall about it in more detail. Hey yo, Miss Hall, what the haps? Was the reason why the Ceylon tea smelled different because the pots were switched? Yes, that's certainly possible. It had a fresh minty aroma. Hello. Not unlike that of Uva tea. Ah, I remember now. I prepared some mint tea yesterday. I'm sure that the aroma just happened to remain in the teapot. Did you now? Oh boy. Is that really all there is to it? Gonna go ahead and say big nope Slovakia to that. Alright. That's suspicious. A minty aroma was emanating from the pot Larry had replaced. Miss Hall said the aroma was left over from the mint tea she prepared yesterday. Indeed. She seemed less surprised to find out that Larry broke the teapot, and more surprised by the fact that the pots had been switched. That's right. Normally it would have been the reverse. A broken teapot is much more shocking. She was probably trying to hide this teapot. Hide the pot? One of the characteristics of Normalium is a minty aroma. There is a possibility that she was hiding Normalium inside this teapot. What? Inside the pot? It is only a possibility for now, but it is one worth investigating. That, it very much is the case. Mr. DeBest, I assume you haven't found the Normalium yet? Uh-oh. You want me to prove my worth in every single conceivable manner? Then I can totally do that. I've had the entire art museum searched, but I haven't received any reports yet. What about you? Don't you have any ideas? Only one. I knew it! Nobody but me would be able to find out. Oh, wait, what? You have an idea where it is? Indeed. Well, then tell me! It may have been in this teapot that Miss Hall had used. Yeah? This teapot is pretty nice. It'd make the perfect present for the best prosecutor. It's not a present! It's an important piece of evidence, you absolute stooge. Oh, it's just evidence. And I guess I'll have forensics take a look at it. This freaking guy! I point at you! Monsieur Edgeworth, is there something wrong with the teapot I used? This teapot has a minty aroma to it. It's the same aroma as one of the two chemicals used to create the poison gas. Monsieur Edgeworth, surely you don't mean... You suspect me of having set off the poison gas? I don't want to. I do. Setting up the poison gas trap in the Autumn Palace would have required some preparation. As the curator of this museum, you're the only one who could have prepared it in advance. I wonder about that. Preparations for the opening of the museum took about a week. And I received help from both outsiders and Madame Delicia. I think there are people beside me who are also suspicious. Of course, Delicia is also under scrutiny. Furthermore, I don't even know how to create something like poison gas. Even if you found normalium in my teapot, there's no way I could have prepared the poison gas. You want to elaborate on why? Well then, I look forward to hearing the analysis results of the teapot. I'm just saying, I mean, you did have a book full of apparently recipes of concoctions and the like. It's not impossible. Her excuse is that she doesn't know how to prepare the poison gas. I must find a way to shatter that excuse. That we most certainly shall. All right, what else is left for me to do? Oh, dearie, me, my, oh my. I didn't mean to hit that button even remotely. Hang on. You only had, like, one thing I could talk about initially. Can I talk about more now? Is that a possible? Nope. Okay. Oh! I think I figured something out. Hang on. Could be crazy, but give me a, let me take a look-see-loo here. Let me take a look at the sketcheroony. That's the wrong sketcheroony. I would like the one that has all of the lady types in it. Thank you. History babaroo. All right. Here's a question and a half. Why are these two carts so different in appearance? Let's find out about it, why don't we? Presented, Eureka! Larry, there's something I want to ask you about your sketch. Eh? You want a lecture on sketching from the famed Professor Larice, do ya? No, not even remotely. Please stop assuming things. I just need to ask you something. The tablecloth in your sketch, are you sure it was light blue? Oh. That would explain why he said the hues. All right, well, I was paying more attention to the stuff that was on the cart, but look, I came to the same conclusion either way, so I'm gonna say that it's still a win-win on my part. Yeah, my eyes never fail me, but the one on the service cart here is white, isn't it? Dude, you're always so busy thinking with just your head that you miss the obvious. What's with that look on your face? When I drew that painting, I was using the cart with the tea set on it, remember? Because I was tidying up the broken pottery shards. That's not something to be proud of! And right then, Katie came out of the Winter Palace. I had to hurry and hide the broken teapot so that she wouldn't notice it. She just had a second cart covered in candy? Did you just say Miss Hall came out of the Winter Palace? That's right. But this time she was pushing another service cart. And the tablecloth was light blue, just like how I drew it. What did she do with that service cart? Beats me. She went into the Summer Palace with it, so I don't know. And when she came out, she was pushing the lift trolley. The lift trolley? When I called out to her, she was so surprised that she just left it there. She's so cute when she's shy. A second service cart and a lift trolley. Maybe there were two tea sets along with two service carts? I'll have to verify it with Miss Hall. That seems like something that I might be able to get something out of this. All right, yep, hang on. I've got another point of entry for information. Knew it, let's go. Is it true you keep two service carts on the premises? Yes, is there something wrong? Earlier, I was looking at one of the sketches from that so-called artist, and, well, wouldn't you know it? Yeah, I noticed that he had drawn the cart's tablecloth light blue. Light blue? You sure you weren't mistaken, monsieur? No, definitely not. I only ever use tablecloths that are pure white. Could it be this thing again? Why is this fluorescent cloth so relevant? So many questions. That's true. The tablecloth here doesn't have a single spot on it. Yes, that's because I always change them immediately whenever they get dirty. Did Larry really get the color wrong then? What were you doing when this sketch was drawn? At that time, I was just doing my job as usual. Then could you tell me exactly what that work entails? You mind giving me the hoedown lowdown about this entire situation? What were you doing when you were drawn in this sketch? Explain your science. From the looks of the drawing, it doesn't seem like you were transporting the tea set, but instead a pile of chocolate. This is when I was delivering chocolates to all the people in the investigation. Oh, how nice. Chocolates. I wish I could have gotten some too. Oh, there's still a few left, so please eat these then. I made them myself, though it's possible they might not suit your taste. Woo! Hee-hee! Thank you so much. Thank you. Perhaps it's because she had them in her pockets, but it looks like they've melted a bit. Interesting. Thank you, though, all the same. The sweet goodness. I'm happy to hear you say that. These chocolates are a little misshapen, but I'm glad to get some sugar into my system. Hey! Ah, like father, like son. That's nice. Although they're a little too sweet for my taste. Fair, I say. All right. Well, that's all well and good. What more is there for me to do? I guess I could talk to Delicia. Oi! How's the investigation coming along? Have you found anything? Hoi! Not quite, actually. We haven't found any clues yet. You're doing it wrong. Hoi is only used when you're showing someone something. Also, yesy is used to confirm and is also a greeting. Eep is when you're afraid. Fee is used when you don't like something. Oi is used when you're calling someone. I see. I didn't know it was that deep. Oi, Mr. Edgeworth. Did you catch all that? Okay, be more serious. Yesy. Aww. Oh, that was nice. You, forensics man. We've recovered the victim's body. Forensics are currently performing the autopsy. We're poking it with all manner of knives. And what of the investigation of the fountain? The fountain is completely clean. You could cleanse both your heart and soul with it. That's a weird thing to say, but all right. A bloody was floating in the fountain just a moment ago, though, so I'm gonna go ahead and say nah to that mess. All right, kind of goes against all of my principles to speak to you, but sure, let's go with it, I suppose. Why not? Mr. DeBest, you're getting a bit in my way if you stand here. I'm not going to move. Just do what you can over there. Don't say that. It's probably the best if you just stand over there. The best, you say? Okay, I'll go stand over there. So anything is fine as long as you add the best to it? Sheesh and crumbs. I feel that your conduct thus far has clearly been out of line. You mean figuring stuff out? I will make sure to bring this matter up to the PIC. Do whatever you want, I really don't care. But in return, we're gonna be doing whatever we want as well, and that might involve getting some punches! If I remember correctly, you're the little Miss Great Thief. I'll have to report your misconduct to the PIC as well, young lady. Oh, sure! Since it'll only serve to increase my fame as the Great Thief. Backfired! Seems even Judge Courtney is unable to get a handle on Kay. She is an enigma. She is unhandleable. She is Kay Faraday, and she is pretty fantastic. Maybe there's more to talk with Larry? I'm not seeing anything with Larry. All right, what are we messing with here? I suppose I didn't actually look. Whoa, that was weird. I suppose I didn't actually look at the fountain itself. Because the body has already been recovered by the police. Why was the body of the victim from 18 years ago floating in the fountain? I mean, wouldn't the body have gotten all goopy after 18 years? Among other things. I don't know if I would call it goopy, although she's not wrong. It certainly would have required a special method to preserve the body. I'm glad somebody's bringing it up. I wonder if such a method even exists. Hey, Mr. Forensics guy, any new information? Yes! Normalium and Fatalium have been detected in the fountain water. They must have flowed through the stream from the Autumn Palace to the fountain. Aside from the chemicals, we also found high levels of sugar. We're working hard on investigating it. Sugar in the fountain water? What could have caused that? Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Gummy Man? This is Edgeworth. It's the Gumman! It's Gumshoe, sir! Yeah, I know, I have caller ID. Did something happen? Actually, right now, all the investigators but me have left the Winter Palace, so I can finally tell you what we found. Boy, it feels good to leak information again. It's not good for a detective to be leaking out information about the investigation, but it sure helps me. His resourcefulness has saved me many times these past few days. Even Edgeworth, giving Gumshoe credit. The dude is doing work. All the sculptures in the Winter Palace have melted. There's still some liquid left in the cases, but there's less in the Gemini case than in the Taurus case. There's still liquid in the glass cases? Yes, sir. We just investigated the light blue liquid a moment ago. We only detected sugar in the Taurus case, but for some reason in the Gemini case, we detected 3 different substances. 3 substances? They consisted of sugar, salt, and blood. Wait, for real? Blood? Blood and salt were detected in the Gemini case? What whose blood it could have been? I've asked forensics to look into it, sir. Right. I leave it to you, detective. That reminds me, the forensics investigating the fountain patio contacted me. It seems the sugar found in the fountain matches that found in the light blue liquid. Oh, well, that sounds like valuable information. Thank you kindly. Gladly going to take that. Is that all the new information you have for me? Ah, well, now that you mention it, we found a rainbow light device in there too. Ah, for the cloth. Okay, so I can imagine maybe one of the sculptures was wrapped up in this cloth and hit with the rainbow light machine, but for the life of me, I wouldn't be able to tell you why. The device was used to disguise the Autumn Palace. It seems the device that was used in the IS-7 incident is also connected to this one. I should listen to what Delicia has to say about that. Aha! I have to go back to investigating now, sir. When we get the results of the blood tests, I'll let you know right away. Yes. Thank you, detective. Gumshoe! Doing work! Yeah! Was that Gummy calling? It sure was a long call. Honestly, it was one of the shorter ones. But thanks to him, we now have an important piece of information. In order to break Miss Hall's alibi, I'll need to talk to everyone involved in the IS-7 incident. And as it currently stands, we really only got one option in that particular regard. So, hey, ho, ho, how about you give me the lowdown? Delicia, would you be willing to aid in the investigation? Yesy, of course. Anything for Miley and Kayfaye. Kayfaye? All right, I'll listen to whatever you have to say. I was wondering if you could stop calling me Miley. And stop calling me Kayfaye. Hey, that's out of the question. I can't just change a name I've already decided on. Ugh. Even if we ask her, she won't listen to what we have to say at all. All right then, well, let's talk about some stuff. Do you know anything about the decorations that are used in this museum? Specifically, the fluorescent cloths and a special device called a rainbow light device. Yesy? Of course I do. Because they are presents that I gave to Katie. As an apology for breaking the rules 18 years ago, I gave her 4 new rock salt lamps and the 4 fluorescent cloths I used in the contest. So basically, you just gave everything that yeah, all right. That's not much of an apology, is it? But all right. Wow, that sounds nice. Fluorescent cloths and rock salt lamps? Seems like only us girls can understand how wonderful they are. That's a cruel thing to say, Miss Delicious. I liked them too, you know. That was back when Ray Ray was still a cute little boy. Back when Mr. Shields was a cute little boy. Huh. I can't even imagine it. I hear he ate a lot of paper. Are they the same decorations you saw 18 years ago? Probably. The rock salt lamp, the cloth, and the rainbow light device. They all seem the same. Man, that light device is it's also doing in work if it's able to still do its thing after 18 years. Those things break down in that amount of time. Fluorescent cloths were used in the Autumn Palace. But I have the feeling I saw one more of the same cloth. It's true! Look! I got the proof right here in my bag! Pulls out cloth. What is she searching for? Not this. Oh, not this either. I remember seeing cloth like that recently. Let's show Delicia and have her confirm my suspicions. Can do, Johnny Beef Stew. Here we go. Get a load of this. Wasn't there a dirty rag in your bag that looks similar to this? I'm not gonna give you any information to someone who calls it a dirty rag. Then, would it be better if I called it a washcloth? Wrong again! It's a fluorescent cloth. Oopsie. That was supposed to be a secret. Interesting that. Please, tell me all you know about this fluorescent cloth. I'd rather not do that, frankly, but all right. Please tell me the reason why you hid this cloth. Oh, I guess I have no choice since the cat's out of the bag and it's got my tongue and all that other stuff. I found this cloth floating in the fountain. And right after that, I was called to the Autumn Palace. So that's the moment Larry captured in his so-called sketch of beauties. At first, I thought one of the fluorescent cloths I'd given Katie had washed away. But didn't you only give 4 fluorescent cloths as a present to this museum? There were 4 fluorescent cloths covering the sculptures in the Autumn Palace, right? So that's when I realized that this was the cloth that went missing 18 years ago. Hmm? The poison gas broke out because someone had stolen my Megatoxin X. So I thought the fluorescent cloth had also been used for the crime. I was afraid I'd be suspected, so I didn't say anything about it to anyone. Let me see. I mean, it stands to reason that is all very, very suspicious. But I sure feel a lot better after talking about it. Trash isn't good for your figure, after all. 18 years ago, the cloth that was wrapped around the body went missing. And the body, too. Interesting, that. Who would have thought it would turn up at the fountain along with the body? And how did nobody notice it was in the damn I don't think it was in the fountain the whole damn time. That'd be weird. Anyway, what about this poison gas situation? I'd like to ask you something since you're a pharmacist. Exactly how would one gain the knowledge required to set off poison gas? Oh, that's basic knowledge for any pharmacist acquainted with Megatoxin X. It even says on the warning label, danger, do not mix with normalium. Wouldn't have been hard to figure out. Then, is there another way someone who isn't a pharmacist to obtain that information? Well, it might be possible if they've seen the Angel's recipe. The recipe book that was the grand prize of the contest 18 years ago. Since it also contains the recipe to prepare Megatoxin X. Called that one. Thank you. Does this mean that you've also seen the contents of the Angel's recipe? Yesy, that's given, of course. The pharmaceutical company I work for is the Master Group. It's the company that makes this Cold Killer X medicine. Cold Killer X. The cold medicine that promises to kill colds good. Thanks for that advertisement there. After Jeffy got declared guilty, the company took back the recipe book. However, only a small group of elite pharmacists have been allowed to see it, though. So this woman is also a part of that small group of elite pharmacists. All right, that makes sense, so if we're talking to everybody involved with the stuff... Yo, Ray. You got any new info? Maybe? Yo, you just might. Mr. Shields, could you tell me what kind of person Miss Hall is? Miles, don't tell me. You're also interested in Katie. No. Well, all joking aside, all Uncle Ray can say is that the Kate I know is a truly admirable woman. For 18 years, she's always wanted to remain here and wait for Master's return. However, she was driven out of the mansion by Master's relatives. What? She was driven out of the mansion? That's because Kate isn't related by blood to Mr. Master. With no family and her job taken from her, she could only live on with the song and dance that Mr. Master had taught her. Well, she's now retired as a world-famous actress, though. Why did she retire? Because she had already saved up enough money to buy this mansion. Seems she even got back the Angel's recipe that had been taken by the Master Group. Hello! This mansion where she lived with Mr. Master had been everything to her. She probably just wanted to take back everything that she lost. She became a famous actress just for the sole purpose of getting her prior life back. Wow. Seems that Mr. Shields sympathizes with Miss Hall. But you could also say that our actions have taken away everything Mr. Master had. All right, hang on. Let me use my logical deductive brainscape to figure out some sciences. Let's slam jam this stuff together, thank you very much. And shabow! The method used to set off the poison gas is explained in the Angel's recipe. And the current owner of the Angel recipe is Miss Hall. So that means... Indeed. It means that it is possible she knew how to set off the poison gas. With this, we can expose her lies for what they are, even if I would really rather not. All right, here we go. Oh, boy. Oh, wait, no. I guess I can't do that now. Well, if that's the case... Wait. I think I might be an idiot. Hello. This lift trolley has just been left here. I wonder if it was used recently to carry something heavy. The surface of the platform appears to be wet. I remember seeing this lift trolley someplace before. You mean during the IS-7 incident? Oh, that's right, I remember now. It was in Dover's room. Oh, if I remember correctly, it was used to transport the ice sculptures. The lift trolley has a feature that allows you to adjust the height and angle of the platform. With just one of these, a single person can move the sculptures all by themselves. Well, that's handy. Okay, good to know, good to know. Wow, how convenient. I want one too. Yeah, I bet you do, Kay. Why is there a lift trolley here? Guess that's something we'll need to think about. Yes, it could be related to the case. Oh. Well, that was a fruitful investigation, I ain't gonna lie. Now all that's left to wait all that's left is to wait for the results of the teapot. Right, I wouldn't be able to prove anything until then. Also, the chapter ended. All right, fair enough game. So much has happened and so much is still to come. Let's see what happens.